Sponsored by The Glass Jug. Located just off State Road 55 in Durham, The Glass Jug is the only place in the Triangle where you can browse a selection of hundreds of different craft beers, sit and enjoy one of 16 different beers on tap, and then take home a counter-pressure-filled growler of your favorite draft beer. Their growler filling technology ensures beer freshness and carbonation for much longer than growlers filled from the tap. Join The Glass Jug for free tasting events every Thursday at 5 p.m. We'll see you at The Glass Jug.
Hi, I'm Glenn, Dave's behind the camera. We're the NC Beer guys. Welcome to another episode of the NC Beer Buzz. We're very pleased today to be in Charlotte at the brand new Sycamore Brewing, and we're here with Sarah Brigham, and her husband is off camera. We're going to get to him later as he's going to show us the backside of the operation. But Sarah's going to show us the taproom area and talk about the beer and how's it going and how's it been going for them. Thanks for having us in. We really appreciate you having us in today.
Thanks so much for coming.
So you are like 2 weeks in, and after so long wanting it to be, planning, trying to get open, so far so good?
So far so good. Like you said, we've been in planning for a while, 3 years almost, so we couldn't be happier to finally have our doors open.
And you guys are our husband and wife team. You've known you were both going to do this for a while. How did that come to be?
Well, my husband is from Charlotte originally, but went to school in Colorado, and while he was there, he had a job at Coors, purchasing barley from farmers. Around this time, he started brewing. He's been brewing ever since, which is over a decade now.
Home brewing.
Home brewing, right. That's right. And about 3 years ago, we decided to turn our passion for beer into a business.
And were you still in Colorado then, or he had already come back?
We were in Charlotte.
Okay. And we always hear all these horror stories about getting open. Has it been the struggle everybody says it is?
You know, it's been a challenge, but now that we're on the other end, we're feeling good.
That's great, that's great. So 2 weeks in, the reception's been good, you've been overrun?
You know, the reception's been great. We're in a fantastic neighborhood. We're in South End in Charlotte, and everyone's been fantastic.
And you've got the whole Charlotte beer scene, which is up and coming and bubbling up, and that supports you, I guess. You feel that support and that welcoming love, and you're now a part of it. Absolutely.
Charlotte's got a great beer scene, and we couldn't be happier to be part of it.
Great. So we're in the tap room. And Dave may get some shots later, but you got a beautiful outside patio that's all brand newly done. And of course, it's all new. And we're here in Hawkins Street. And what was the facility before? What was in here before?
This was originally a Ryder truck service center, and then it was an auto garage.
Okay.
And we pretty much brought the building back to 4 walls and a roof. We completely gutted it and started all over again.
What a challenge, that was huge.
It was a 9-month-long project, and it certainly was filled with hiccups, but we're really happy with the results.
That's great. So now, we see all the taps behind us. Are these all going to be Sycamore beers in the tap room, or some guest taps sometime?
We have 4 wine taps, and we'll eventually have 16 Sycamore beers on tap, and from time to time we'll definitely have some guest taps as well.
So wine and beer for you guys who want to bring somebody else in that doesn't necessarily drink beer.
Yeah.
And you can feature somebody particular wine, or is it going to vary?
You know, we're going to keep it new, change it from time to time, but we have 2 whites and 2 reds.
Okay, and you'll kind of always have 2 whites and 2 reds.
We will.
Cover the bases. And the tap room is going to be open most every day.
So from Tuesday to Thursday, we're 4 to 9. Friday, we're 4 to 10. Saturday, 12 to 10. And Sunday, 12 to 6.
Okay. And you'll always, I guess, like have a food truck, or lots of times have food truck and also special events?
Every time we're here, we've got a food truck on site.
Okay. And is there live music plans, or some places do, some people don't?
Oh yeah, last night we had a great band in. I'm trying to get a live band in every Friday.
Oh, cool, good, good. So you'll also have flights and pints?
To start off with, we've just got pints, but we will be introducing our flights soon.
Right. And do you actually make 16 beers now already?
We don't.
Okay,
It'll probably
that's a
be
big already.
Yeah, it'll probably be next spring when we have all 16 taps fleshed out.
So what are we flagships, or will you change up the beer over time? And you'll have some you'll always have, and then you'll do some seasonals? Or
Yeah,
what
you know, we're really big on making seasonal beer. We have some beers that we think may be our flagships, but we're going to let Charlotte decide
They've
that.
got to hit first, and
That's
then
right.
if the demand is there, they'll become flagship.
Exactly.
So for now, you're kind of just tweaking that still.
Yeah, now we're just putting out some what I think is really tasty beer, and we're getting feedback from our guests.
Well, that's great. Thanks for having us in. We're going to let Justin show us the backside of the operation now. So we met half the team on the front side in the tap room, and now we're with the other half. Justin brought us into the back side of the brewery. We're still on premises at Sycamore, and we're going to talk about the production capacity and how it's been on the back side to get open. And we talked about out front that there's 16 taps, and you're deciding, Charlotte's going to decide what the flagships are.
Yeah, and we're happy to let them.
Good. And the production capacity is what back here?
We've got a 15-barrel brew house. We've got 5 15-barrel fermenters and 2 3.5. So the 2 little 3.5s are small batches, seasonal things. We use them as yeast drinks. Yeah, exactly.
So you can be all about some variety.
Absolutely. We've got, we actually have 20 taps. 16 are for beer. We've got 4 wine taps as well. And pretty near future, I think we're going to have 16 different beers on.
And your equipment came locally?
It did. We got our brew house just up the road. SMT is the name of the company. They're out of Greensboro. It was very important for us to stay local. We tried to everywhere we could. We have a local brew house. Our boiler, our chiller, our trench drains are all North Carolina made. It was important.
And the tanks?
No, they came from Specific in Canada, actually. They came a long way.
And this is a cooperative effort in the backside. It's you and 2 other guys.
Yeah, we all wear every hat.
Has it been more work than you thought it might be just to get the beer to drink?
Yes. Yes. Right. The hours have been crazy. I had a brewer turn in a 112-hour week the other week. It's just, but it's an act of love. We enjoy what we're doing, but it's definitely more work than, and I knew it was going to be a lot of work. So the amount that I thought it would be, and then what it actually is, it's crazy, but everyone enjoys it.
Because as a home brewer, you knew the science of making beer.
Yeah.
But then they throw you on this equipment, which I assume you had no real exposure to.
No.
And so every day, for a while at least, it was figuring out what mechanically to even do to get the science right.
And there was a whole lot of theory. I helped design the brew house from what we wanted. And so on paper I knew what we were getting, and then when we actually do something, I still find myself like tracing pipes and figuring out what valve does what.
Which is the hot water, which is the cold, which is the line.
Thankfully we're getting better, you know, practice makes perfect kind of, and it's, we've got our rhythm now, but it was a lot more work.
Now did you start, this is the ideal size you thought to start. Tell us about the decision making, not starting smaller and planning to grow immediately, and then not overdoing either. How do you decide where to start?
I never heard a brewer or brewery say they wanted a smaller brew house. So when we looked at numbers and thought about how big we wanted to go, knowing the size of our building, we're pretty small. It's only 5,400 square feet.
And a large, or half of that's devoted to the public retail side.
Yep, it is. We thought about everything, a 3.5 barrel, a 7 barrel, a 10, a 15, and at the end of the day, I'm glad we got the 15.
Because it'll allow you for some time to meet your needs.
It does.
And then you can always move up if you have to.
Yeah, and we do want to go to market. Right now you can get our beer under this roof only, but early next month we'll probably put some kegs out. We aren't doing any bottling or canning yet. We might in the future, but having that bigger brew house allows us to have that extra capacity to go to the bottle shops and go to our local restaurants.
Some local accounts.
Yeah.
Now you don't have a vision for Sycamore brand to be statewide. You're kind of going to be, you told us, a Charlotte brewery.
We are.
Okay, and that's kind of the intent.
It is, yeah, we want to. I'm from Charlotte. There's a lot of local pride to be here and be up and running. The city's changed so much since I was a kid. We're really proud to be part of it.
And then the beer scene, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Bubbling up everywhere.
I think Charlotte's beer scene is very mature for how young it is. Right. I think the beer coming out of Charlotte.
But it is young. I mean, just a few years ago.
Yeah, short years, absolutely. Yeah.
So to be a part of that must feel great.
It feels really good.
Sarah said you had a wonderful reception in front of the community already. We've only been in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it was very encouraging. People have been just so warm and welcoming, and the breweries have as well. We have an amazing group of breweries in the city. We all went go-kart racing a couple weeks together.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty special. You don't get that in a lot of industries.
We used to ask the question when we talk with brewers about the competitive versus the community nature of the business. But we always got the same answer, so we quit asking, because it's much more a community.
It is.
We're all in this together thing. I mean, there is some competition at some level when you're trying for tap space.
Sure, of course.
And it is a business, and you've got to do what's right for your business. Right. But it is very much a community, and you feel like a part of it and feel welcome to be here already. It's not like you're the new competitor on the block.
They're friends. It's a great feeling. I mean, it like I said, it's very special. I don't think a lot of industries are like that.
I'm sure.
And we're a stone's throw from a couple other breweries. Lenny Boy's just down the way, and we couldn't be better friends with those guys.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good. So how are we going to come to know, or are we going to know, benchmark, a signature Sycamore beer? What's going to be known? What are Sycamore going to be known for?
That's a good question. I've been asked it before, and I've always said variety. The number of taps we have, we're going to try and stay fresh, stay seasonal, small batches, just change it up. We want to have something different, hopefully something that everyone will enjoy on tap.
So something for every palate.
Hopefully, yeah.
And part of your effort to do that shows in the fact that I don't know we've ever been in a brewery that had taps dedicated to wine. We've been in breweries who had wine available, like some bottles they can open, but you've got wine availability pretty eagerly.
We do. Wine on tap.
And that shows that you're appealing to a vast array, trying to, of retail customers coming in, because you're going to have 16 different styles and varieties of your beer.
Yep.
But then if somebody not a beer drinker, doesn't want a beer, they can go to the wine side, and
yep.
that'd be great.
That's the hope. We've definitely had some wine fans come in, which I think is pretty special, coming to a brewery to have a glass of wine with maybe their husband or boyfriend or girlfriend,
right,
whatever it is. We just want this to be a place that people feel, get a fondness for, and having something they want to drink definitely helps in that.
Yeah. So has it been everything you thought it would be so far?
And a lot more, yeah. I haven't had a bad day here, stressful days, and getting through permitting and the build and zoning and all that was definitely
That's
trying.
not the fun part of brewing.
That is not the fun part of brewing, not even a little bit. But we just couldn't be happier. Beer is flowing now. We're going to do what the whole reason for this was taking a passion and making a business.
And for 2 years, it's been something you knew was happening or going to happen, but the reality of it is now setting in.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. Yeah, right. We're finally there, and I'm thinking about recipes. I ordered grain the other day, and doing stuff like that is why we did this, and it feels good.
That's great. Well, thanks for having us in.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Appreciate it so much. So for you guys here in Charlotte, for now, or from anywhere but visiting Charlotte, make sure you check these guys out on Hawkins Street, the brand new Sycamore Brewing, and give Justin or Sarah, who you saw in the early piece, a call when you come in and say, hey, Beer Guys sent us. And until next time, we're the NC Beer Guys, Glenn and Dave, and this is another episode of NC Beer Buzz. And remember, drink local and keep your beer dollars in North Carolina.
Cheers.